pressure. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? What's happening out there? What's good? What's good? What's good? It's been a hell of a 24, 48, 72, 5 games for the Pelicans.
5 years.
5 years. They've been getting the snot beat out of them for the last 5. It's a 5 now, 5-game stretch. If you was at Wendy's, that'd be a 5 for 5. You know what I'm saying? Stay woke, stay with me. We know what you've seen, we know what you heard, we know what the numbers say, but we don't know is this duo fixable? I got my dog, I got my man J Dog Jermaine with me. Y'all know Cheddar Chaz. That's what we're here for. We're here to discuss that. You know what I'm saying? You know what we do. You know why we here. But first,
you owned all your masters, all your music to 90-10 split. If anybody understands what that is, that the record label only get a small percentage.
Definitely.
And you own everything. Definitely. How did you do that?
Just coming with the street mentality, but I just felt like as a young man, you know, I lost so many people in my life, though. I didn't feel like a record label deserved to have something they didn't work hard for. We was already making millions of dollars independently before I even went to New York and signed the deal. So for me, it wasn't really about the money because I was still doing my thing. We was making millions a month. So I wasn't willing to give up nothing. I think that was one of the smartest things I ever did.
You own.
And the Pelicans are losing me. This podcast is sponsored by the Birds Hall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Buku Media, located at 918 Porter Street by the Superdome. If you anybody you know have been involved in an accident, hit them up 504-523-5413. Be sure to mention we sent you. Justin, Chaz, what's good?
What's popping, brother? How you doing?
Man, it's love. It's love. It's love.
Glad to be on.
Man, no problem, bro. I'm happy to take the hosting away from you. You know what I'm saying? If only for a day.
I'm fine with that. I'm ready.
So some interesting. Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. You're good. Some interesting things have transpired in the last 24 hours. Some things have been said. Some things have been done. If y'all not familiar, I have the footage and the files, and I'd like to share them with the viewing public. Give me 1 second.
About how the offense is a little bit different for you this year than it was last year. Do you think that's something that you guys just need to address a little bit, maybe do some things differently or try to adapt some things from last year? I guess, how do you feel just where you are right now?
You know, like I said last year, you know, we had a team meeting and it was brought up some things that I could do better, especially like with buying into the program. And right now it's tough right now, but like I said, right now I'm taking a little backseat right now, and I'm trusting the process. I'm trying my best to buy in right now.
Yo, interesting comments, right? So before I get how y'all feel about that, some more interesting comments were made by the other party. I got the files. Hold on one second.
I feel like it's going to take just to get a little bit better and just coming out with a little more urgency?
We just got to do better. Follow the game plan. Have urgency on the offensive end. Have some direction on the offensive end of what we exactly want. On the defensive end, we just pick up the pressure. Try to make it harder on the key guys and rebound the guys.
Do you feel like it's been like unclear, the direction offensively?
Not necessarily unclear, but I think we can, as players, have a little bit more communication on the floor, how guys can score, who we can attack on the floor. I think between the players we can do that a little bit better.
And you've been here through, you know, some long losing streaks and just feeling that feeling, how it feels in the locker room, I guess. What do you got to do kind of to avoid kind of falling into that hole where things start snowballing on y'all?
Keep the energy high, keep it positive. Like I said, talk about the mistakes and just try to carve out some wins. Get guys back, and just let the guys know that we have in the room to do what they do well on the floor, whatever that is, to go out there and do well.
Yeah, how important is it to get out and transition a little bit more, push the pace? Willie mentioned that in post-game, that he wants you guys get a lot more easy points like you were earlier in the season.
Yeah, I think it's important, you know, especially when guys are complaining about fouls and not getting back on the defensive end. So I think we can do it better.
So yo, So you got one guy saying, before I get into what I'm trying to get into, let me ask y'all a question. What I'm gonna start with Chaz. Based on Zion's statement, what is he saying? Like, what did he mean by that?
Yo, it's two ways you can interpret it, right? The first way, him saying this is the second or third time he's referenced not being happy with his role offensively. He had the media day when they asked him about playing center, and he's like, "What? Who said that?" Right? So clearly, some message is getting lost in translation between him, Borregno, and Willie Green. Then this is the second time he mentioned taking a back seat in the offense. And there was another clip where he doubled down on his frustration later in that same post-game interview. What I take away from it is there's a clear, as usual, miscommunication between player, offensive coach, and coach, and associate head coach and head coach, right? Player, associate head coach, and head coach. And I think, man, Brandon didn't sound like he knew what he was talking about neither. He's like, yeah, we confused. We're not really confused, but we confused. It's like, well, nobody knows nothing.
What you think, Justin? What like specifically Zion's comments? Because I want to get to Brandon's, but like, what did he mean by I'm taking a backseat? I'm trying to trust the process based on the conversation from last season.
Yeah, he's averaging 16.8 field goal attempts this year through the first 8 games. He averaged 16.2 last year. So when he says taking a backseat, does that mean having the ball in his hands, like initiating the offense? Because I know during that December run, I know it's famously talked about, he was the guy, right? Now you see more of Brandon bringing the ball up. Sometimes, Dyson brings it up. I saw Najee bring it up. You see Hawkins bring it up. Like, I think maybe Zion wants to bring the ball up more, but also, like, yeah, he's taking a backseat, but like, you're also playing one side of the court. Like, literally, you are playing right now one side of the court. I keep going back to this. He had 2 rebounds the other night. That's just not acceptable. So, like, to say he's taking a backseat on offense, well, if you're taking a backseat on offense, what the hell are you doing on defense, like the defensive end? Because you ain't doing shit.
He ain't even in the seat on defense.
Like, I don't even like. So, like, I have a hard time with a guy complaining about his usage when he gives no effort on the other end.
I'm glad you mentioned usage because I wanna bring this up to y'all. Shout out to I think Schmidt posted this. It was Schmidt or Christian. Yeah, it was shout out the book.
But Schmidt put some other stuff.
Yeah, we go give Schmidt his flowers. Shout out to Ali, shout out to Will, shout out to Five for being in the locker room and getting those questions from Brandon. But anyways, to Justin's point, I mean, his usage is higher right now than it was. I mean, it's only 8 games due to versus 29, but I mean, 31% usage. Chaz, how much more usage do you?
I think it's really important to add some context to those numbers because I thought about that, right? Mm-hmm. And take this into consideration. Mm-hmm. First 3 games, you got Brandon, Zion, and first 2 games? Brandon, Zion, and CJ, right? Yeah. Then you got another 3 games without Brandon. You got another 3 games without Brandon. And that's, I think, when you saw the best version, of the Pelicans. Now, mind you, Zion didn't play in that 3rd game either. Well, the Detroit game either. But I think also how Zion's being used, well, he might be getting the touches, but you might see Zion post up like 5-6 times in a row, and he might not get the touches till end of the second quarter, end of the 3rd quarter, beginning of the 3rd quarter, second half. There's been several instances this season already where Zion might got 2 field goal attempts maximum going into late in the second quarter. And I do think that on top of being posted up like you're not 6'6", can be a little frustrating. I do believe that as well.
I'm glad you mentioned post-ups, man, because shout out to Schmidt. He got a stat. Schmidt said that almost 20% of Zion's offense is coming from post-ups. He's averaging 0.56 post-ups per game, which is 2.1, which is in the 2.1 percentile. He shot 27% on them. Only 3 players are getting more post-ups per game. Justin, what do you take away from that?
Yeah, that's tough because I don't know. It's weird, right? Because I'm kind of speechless because like Zion is very successful when he's at the top of the key, and he's got the ball in his hands and he can like kind of like see what's going on in front of him. When he posts up, it's kind of always the same move, right? He posts up, he spins quick, he sweeps and goes. I think defenders are starting to sit on that now. They're anticipating that move, right? Because I don't really ever see Zion sweep in, maybe spin off of it or an up and under or show like a rondo and then like a little fadeaway. Like I don't see any of that. So defenders now understand what Zion wants to do and where he wants to go. And also, I feel like he only why is he slipping all the time?
Someone left a great comment in the last live show we did. They said that they're a sneaker collector, and one of the major complaints they've gotten about the new Zion sneakers is that they have terrible grip. So, Paul,
that's a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. Yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah,
are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not.
There's
I'm
a comment in the
live show we did. The thing I don't understand about, and this is why the communication seems so weird to me, right? Because if you want to play fast, why you posting Zion up and do
you think Zion's doing that? This is I don't know much about this, but do you think Zion's doing that because he's out of shape or that he's not actually
posting up?
Yeah, just posting up. It's kind of like an easy cop out to like just post up.
I don't think so. I think if anything, I think you can see his frustration by not being able to. Zion at the top of the key, even this season, is a different player. Like as far as his energy, his tenacity, ability to get downhill, his passing. He does a lot of jump passes, which I don't like, but his passing, specifically to that what's that, right wing or right corner rather, it's just a totally different player, totally different pace. And if you 6'6", Zion ain't got the greatest wingspan. Why am I posting up a bunch of 6'9" guys with 7'5" wingspans and just what's the point of this? Why? What's the point?
Well, I think you bring up an interesting. Sorry, Leo. I think you bring up an interesting point too, Chaz. Is okay. So as a scorer, like I love watching Kobe videos and film and the way he, worked on his game and his process. Right. Well, he talks about getting one move down and then getting the next move down, and the next move, and the next move, and the next move. And it's like Zion, like he's never expanded. Right. We all know how great he is around the rim and his touch. Well, where's the 15-footer, right? Where's the face-up jumper? Where's the footwork? Where is that? Where's the next? Like, where does he get better now? And I just haven't seen that. I think the league's starting to catch up to it. So, like, I'm looking at his stats now. In 2019, his rookie season, he only shot 14 times from deep, then 34, then 19, and he's only shot once this year. Yeah. And I can't imagine how many mid-range shots he's had, but it can't be more than 5 from what I remember. And I don't count like the little like turnaround, like in the 6-foot area. Like I'm talking like the junction area. He's got to expand more out so that defenders now can have to come out. Defenders just keep going under screens, walling them off, and he's got to score over 2-3 guys. Like, and it's on him to get better. But I think like Coach Green, Borrego, and the staff have to like kind of make a point of emphasis of him starting to shoot mid-range. Like imagine a Brandon Ingram pick and pop. Like
I think Zion is
just coming up. Like but like you got to give him something, Chaz. Like
I think Zion should be. No, I think he should be shooting at minimum 2 to 3 3-pointers a night.
Bro, they're giving it to him. They're just giving it to
right.
him.
And I trust him to shoot those. But it's just like I need to see this dude in a decent situation. And that's what I keep going back to. It's like, it's probably the least ideal situation. You got Tony Allen out there, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, you got it's like it. It's just he got to expand his game, and he got to feel comfortable to unleash other things, which I'm sure he works on, and he needs to do it. And he does. He shouldn't even have to get permission to do it. He should want to come into the season showing things that he's worked on. It is like
so. Let me ask you this: is there a fix for this post up? I guess the lack of effectiveness with it. I mean, because if you think about it, I think Zion is averaging 53% from the field this year, which is pretty bad by his standards.
Yeah.
Can I, Chaz, if you don't mind, I was going to talk about this early on because, and I know Chaz, with your memory, you'll definitely remember this. But last year, for the first 10 games, he did the exact same. I'm telling you, I'm trying to look up the stats, but he did the exact same thing. Where everyone was like, "Man, Zion, we're 4-5 or 5-5, whatever it was, or 4-6, kind of the same record." And everyone was like, "Man, like Zion doesn't look good. Like he just, I don't know. Like everyone, he's missing everything. His touch is off." And now, and then what it was, late November, December, he explodes, right? And so it's just I said this last night, but like these guys start off slow. Like I have the stats right here. So like in last October, he shot 50% from the field. And then midway through November, 8 of 9, 14 of 18, 11 of 18, 12 of 15, 6 of 12. He went 29 points, 26, 32, 23, 33, 30, 25. Like this is how he starts off. Like in his first 6 or 7 games, he wasn't great. He had like 16, 25, 21, but not very high percentage field goals, right? And so like I'm interested to see if he turns it around here in the next 5 to 10 games.
So let's get to Brandon's comments. Brandon's comments, basically the key points that I took out of it were unclear direction, lack of rebounding, lack of communication, guys not getting back on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Chaz, what do you take from those comments?
No, I think, man, I thought it was a total lack of self-awareness. Like when you mentioned, like, all right, this is what the coaches want, and it's like, yeah, I don't do none of that. This is what they say they want, and it's like, yo, what the fuck? Now, as it pertains to the Zion, because he talking about Zion getting back on defense and not complaining to the refs. I agree. I agree. I think you've seen him do less of it. I think that's why I always categorize things is 2 ways: things you can fix and things you can't fix, right? I think you've seen Zion do less of it. I would like to see him, if you're going to do that, just go all out, pick up a tech. You know what I'm saying? Get real animated with it. So at least there's potentially some benefit down the line. But yeah, I totally agree. Zion got to stop complaining to the refs, got to get back on defense. I would say he even got to play with better pace in the half court. Now you play with a little more pace when you think you're getting the ball, but there's still I feel like Brandon's comments lacked a bit of self-awareness in some instances. I'll say that.
What do you think, Justin?
I kind of liked it. I kind of like how both, like, I don't necessarily agree with what Zion said and taking a back seat. I don't know about that yet, but I kind of like what Brandon said last night, but also I got to see, like he's got to play a different way too now. I think Schmidt also had another great tweet today, like talk about how like CJ McCollum came this season and completely changed his game, act like a professional, right? Also. Yeah, JV. Like we're trying to eliminate mid ranges. So I'm sure Chaz, you have these stats, but CJ, I don't know how many mid ranges he takes now, but it's not a lot, right? He's shooting a lot of threes or he's attacking the rim, and so he's changed his game. And I think Brandon's having a tough time doing that, right? Like I have the clip today, like, the 17 dribbles, 0 pass. Like, that's just not good basketball. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, it's not good basketball. Was it one series? Yeah, but still, like, he does that 3 or 4 times a game where, like, the ball just sticks and nobody moves. And
3 or 4.
There's these stats where, like, we're, like, minus 13 with Zion off the court, but we're minus, like, 24 with, like, or with Zion on the court, and then we're, like, minus 24 with Brandon on the court. And it's, like, the numbers right now are not good.
Can I share this? Oh, go ahead. Look.
No, go ahead.
It's crazy, right? So Brandon's played 1 less game than Zion to this point. Brandon has 1 less field goal attempt in 1 less game and about 16 less minutes. Brandon has 158 points. Zion has 173 points. there's no way Brandon should have more field goal attempts than Zion. And just from like when we talk about his, even with the usage and the taking the back seat, it's like in the context of the game and of the numbers, it's like, damn, why you got all these 20-point attempt games and this dude got like his attempts are in the teens a lot of the times, and he not getting the attempt to maybe garbage. Like some of his attempts are coming in garbage time. I think a lot of Zion's points have come in garbage time the last the first few games, specifically specifically Denver. And it's just like it don't make no sense because these aren't equally yoked players. And that's where the problem comes in, because the narrative is pushed that they are equally yoked. And it's like, nah, Colton shouldn't be shooting as many shots as Will. And he definitely shouldn't be shooting more shots than Will, in my opinion.
So listen, I get where you're coming from. And I get Zion's side of the argument. But I think, man, I was talking to somebody earlier, and I think Brandon's side of it is, or the people who are advocating for Brandon's side is, like, Brandon's been here. He's been available. If it's anything, it's Zion's fault that he hasn't been here and been available. So what's the counter argument to that?
To Brandon, you want to go, Justin?
No, go ahead, Chaz.
You said to, I don't think, man. Damn,
I would say available. Like available.
Yeah, I wouldn't say available, but I also gotta say this. I would be remiss if I didn't say this. Zion be having real injuries, and Brandon just be, going through what he be going through. And that's, look, people, they don't have to believe it. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. But Brandon, everybody, trust me, everybody ain't got no look. Let's keep it all the way $100. Brandon ain't really. He ain't box office enough for people to have an agenda against Brandon. Who the fuck is Brandon? This ain't me on talking about KD here, or me talking about Steph Curry, or Skip talking about LeBron. This is Brandon Ingram, who played for the Pelicans. Like, let's not do that. But I think one dude dealt with a couple of severe injuries. And you got the team, with the first year, you got the team. You're talking about torn meniscus. What's that, Tommy John injury or whatever foot injury he had, and you got whatever happened with
Tommy John's elbow.
Right? What's the foot one? I forgot the name.
I thought he had a thumb.
You talking about Zion?
Oh yeah. Well, Zion first year meniscus, second year
is like the pinky toe, or like it's a weird term.
Yeah, third year foot fracture, and last year some type of devastating hamstring injury, whatever happened with that. We talking about that versus a bruised toe. A concussion, turtle, right? A concussion, knee tendonitis, and just whatever else motherfucker come up with. Like, it's just weird. Like, it's just weird.
So look, I know Justin gotta go, so I'm gonna try to speed through this.
No, you don't have to speed through it.
All right, but look, so I'm gonna put, this is Schmidt. This is the two we're talking about from Schmidt. Shout out to Schmidt, man. Schmidt is doing fucking work on Twitter. He was like, you want to know what Bayern looks like? Bayern looks like CJ McCollum having a career high rim and 3 rate in year 11. Bayern is JV having a career high 3-point attempts rate and a career low offensive rebound rate to space the floor in year 11. Those are guys that bought it. And he also had a tweet where he talked about Zion's comments coming off like James Harden's comments, where it doesn't look as good as you think it does by saying that. Like, it's kind of like a fake buy-in. If you got to tell us you bought in, you ain't bought in. You got to tell us you're a good guy. You ain't a good guy. Don't go like that. Like, I'm supposed to see you bought in.
That's the thing. I like today. Okay, so today walk into practice and it's clear as day. Like, it's changed a little bit. Something was.
Hold on. Wait. No, hold on. I want to get to that. Hold on.
Okay.
Keep that. I'm sorry, but I appreciate that. Because listen, this is my next question. My next question to both of y'all is, Brandon and Zion, obviously, we've seen this been 10 games. We know who I don't even want to say who's not been here. I'm going to just say Brandon and Zion, simply because the whole thing has been, and me and you talked earlier, Justin, all it takes is 1-14 being on the court and being healthy. That's been the narrative forever, right? Yeah. So now we see it, and in year 5, this is what it's looking like.
That's right.
It's really crazy. Like, you know that they are the worst offense with Brandon and Zion on the court. Like the worst offense in the league.
I'm sorry. This is the one.
That's bad, bro. That's
it doesn't
awful.
make sense.
This is the one I wanted to put up.
That's awful. This is the perfect theme for this show. Also, this is a perfect theme for this show.
That's crazy.
And if you're looking at the bro, like, bro, these are some egregious stat. Like, and this is nobody's opinion. This is like literally what numbers are telling us. I want to know. Back to this though, can it be fixed? Can the situation between the two, can it be revived?
Yeah, of course it can be. Yeah, of course it can be. Yeah,
talk to me. Like, what? How we do it?
I'm not here to make excuses. Look, I think that both Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson have been terrible. I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, you know, whether you're a fan of Brandon or you're a fan of Zion or you're a fan of the Pelicans, they've both been bad. I don't know what else to tell y'all. Y'all can try to make excuses for your favorite player. They've both been bad. But can it be fixed? Yeah. Like, also, we're missing some pieces. We're missing a Trey Murphy, the Jose Alvarado. Like, we're missing some guys here. We're missing CJ McCollum. But they have to buy in. And not halfway buy in. You have to fully buy in. If we're trying to eliminate middies and try to get up more threes, Brandon, you got to shoot more threes. It is what it is. How many did you shoot last night, Chaz? 2? 3? Can't happen. Same with Zion. Like, Zion, you got to change your game. Okay? Defensively, you got to give a fuck on that end. You have to. You have to go rebound the ball because I'm telling you right now, Lito, the best offense is when Zion Williamson grabs a defensive rebound, doesn't give it up, and you're in transition. That's the best Pelicans offense.
Are you going to tell him that?
I've tried. No, probably not.
Chaz.
I'd like to.
Chaz, real shit. Why Zion can't get more than 2 rebounds? Like honestly.
I think
you know the answer.
Oh, you mean defensively?
I mean 2 rebounds.
But I don't really count the offensive rebounds too much. Because I'm like, you just so good at that. I need to see you do it on the opposite end of the court. Because to Justin's point, it's instant offense, in my opinion. I think a lot of it is just bad off-ball awareness, poor effort sometimes, walking through the play, taking out the last play on the current play. Sometimes they might
complaining
just be,
and not getting back. Like,
complaining, not getting back, running yourself out of the play. It could be a number of things. Sometimes you just might not be in position, or you might be on the floor with. I think Jordan Hawkins is a guy who steals a lot of rebounds. Love that about him, though. Yeah. Love that about him. Like, if Zion and Jordan Hawkins are side by side, Jordan Hawkins is getting a rebound. That's just his mentality. He's not waiting on the ball to hit the ground. He's jumping in the air and grabbing the rebound. But I don't think it can be fixed. And I was thinking to myself earlier, and I was like, because me personally, I initially thought a lot of this had to do with them not getting along. And I thought that there would be some compromise. And if they got along, you would see a different brand of basketball. And I really had to think today, I was like, if they decided tomorrow they're best friends and they got along great, what would that really change? Like, even if Brandon was shooting 11 threes, all right, he made 3 of them motherfuckers. Like, that's pretty bad, right? If Zion was like, now him getting defensive rebounds, he should do that regardless of what's happening on offense. But his buy-in to me looks like, all right, I'm comfortable getting 2 shots in the first half, and I'm gonna just walk around and do what I need to do for these 17 seconds. That's what his buy-in would have to be currently in this offense. So, and I'm like, I don't know if I would, like, who the fuck gonna be comfortable with that and look, on defense, no excuse. Me, I think the strength of this team is offense, right? I think it's a totally offensive driven team. I don't really know what level of like buy-in, like, so if Zion say, all right, I'm gonna start shooting, I'm gonna start working on my hook shot or this whatever, right? My spin around jumper, whatever. Motherfucker getting 2 attempts to show it off in the first half anyway. So what does it really matter? Like, that's the thing that's kind of like, to me, if they both were just taking a bunch of shots and being a bunch of selfish, like a couple of selfish guys and just being wild, just going wild magnolia with the shots, I'd be like, Yeah, they got to compromise. They got to figure it out. It's a selfish basketball. And it's like, bruh, dude played one less game. He only got one less attempt. Like, no, he played, one less game at this point, 7 games to 8 games. He got one less attempt. Like, that's weird to me. Like, that's like, yo, what the fuck? So, we've seen it. Like, one attempt going into halftime, one attempt last 2 minutes of the second quarter, dude end up with 12 points to end the half because he's going like this weird little run. And so I don't know. I don't think it can be.
Can I ask you this? Whoever wants to answer this.
Yeah.
You think Joel Embiid would go a half with one shot time? What about Jason Tatum? What about Nikola Jokic? What about Luka Doncic? What about Kyrie Irving? What about all these? What about Jimmy Butler? What about Bam? What about Paolo?
Bam? I don't know.
I think you think he'd have one field goal attempt?
No, I don't
field goal
know,
attempts
Bam.
and a half. I'm just saying.
I
was going through
Miami,
Florida. I was going to Texas. Like I was just I'm just saying. You say it all the time. Like, hey, give me the ball. Just give me the basketball. Just get out of my way.
I feel like when Chaz was saying that those things about Brandon earlier about the shot disparity between him and Zion, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, like if you're the better player, right? I would need to demand the basketball. Hey, cuz it's crunch time, or man, look who on me. Like, hey, look who what we doing? I think you have to demand the basketball. And I think when we, and this is, I'm not shooting Brandon Bell, but I'm gonna say this. I feel like when there is a shot disparity and the better player is not demanding of the basketball, I think we let Zion off. I think we let Zion off the hook right there, because that's not Brandon. Because in my eyes, I'm saying, okay, well, motherfucker, you don't want it. You don't want the ball. I'm gonna shoot that bitch.
It's different tenures, but I think some of it, and again, it's totally different tenures, but I think some of it is organizational. Because I remember having some of these same conversations with AD, where it's like, yo, give the ball to the best player. And I don't know, man. I think a lot of it is I would need to know if this is a part of the game plan. Because if this is a part of the game plan, that means the game plan is flawed. And I don't mean the perceived game plan, what they tell us. I mean the actual plan going into the game. I would need to know where, like, is this like some kind of scripted plays or some shit? Like, what's happening here? Because, like, bro, like you see other guys, you see it affect other guys. Like, it's a Zion is the one who matters, Zion and Brandon, but you see other guys being affected by it. JV getting 4 attempts in a half, or JV might get 6 attempts in a game. Like, this is something stupid. Like, especially with CJ out, some shit like that should never happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Matt Ryan.
CJ would get 2 shot attempts.
Nah, look, CJ get the ball. He not giving the ball to nobody. Like, he not. But that's how you. It's fucked up. I said this last night. Well, I said this after the clip came out. I'm like, look, a lot of times in life, bro, you're gonna have to respond to shit that you shouldn't have to respond to, because you might feel like, well, I'm not wrong. I shouldn't even have to be dealing with this. But it's like, nah, that's life. Sometimes you're gonna have to deal with shit you shouldn't have to deal with. Zion shouldn't have to take a backseat. It shouldn't even be something he has to step up and man up and confront, in my opinion, just because I'm like, what we doing here? Y'all actually think we like what we doing here? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, you gotta, if you Zion, you gotta look, the staff against you, front office against you.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you gotta do your own. I'm glad you said that. I want to ask y'all both this question. Do you feel like it's a power struggle happening, and do you feel like it's trickling down not only from the front office but into the play caller?
When you say power struggle, like, what do you?
I mean,
define that.
Okay, so let's go back to the opening of the podcast with Zion saying a backseat, and then Brandon saying guys are complaining about certain things and not getting back. It seems it's two ulterior positions that these guys have taken, two adverse stances against each other. So it seems it looks like it's some sort of struggle there. Now I'm asking you this question specifically because you were at practice today and you were about to lead into that. So
yeah, I'm just looking up some stats real quick, but like, sorry. So yeah, like I think, and look, I can't confirm it, but I think there was something said either last night or this morning because it was completely different when I walked in today. Usually when you walk in, like you'll see Jordan Hawkins and Matt Ryan always working out, Trey Murphy's working out, CJ when he's healthy is working out, and then Brandon and like a duo of either Najee or Jose or whoever, right? Today it was like every single court was occupied. And then it was Zion and Brandon on one goal, which I was like, I've never seen that before in the last 2 years I've been covering this team. Have not seen them two work out together. It's Brandon, Zion with Vincent on one goal, then McGuire with Hawkins, Matt Ryan, and I think Najee on the other goal. Then Jonas Valanciunas, who never gets an extra work, was like shooting with Casey Hill for a good 10 minutes on another goal and free throws. Then you had Trey Murphy and somebody else shooting free throws. Like everybody in the building was shooting free throws. There was like 12 players. Well, usually there's about like 4 after practice. There was 12 players today. So I feel like something must have been said. Now the Brandon Zion thing, I find it weird, right? Like I don't think they hate each other. I really don't. I don't know if they necessarily just like playing with each other because I think that I think they get in their way. I think they just get into each other's ways. Like that's why I just think they occupy chess as the same space, and they have not figured out a way to play together. But to be honest with you, like, has the staff put them in positions to succeed?
Man, look, I think it don't matter what the staff tell Brandon to do personally.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's where I'm at because
that's why I was asking about a power struggle.
Yeah, I don't
over dribbling kills me. I think Zion can play whatever way he wants. I really don't think Brandon's selfish. I just don't think he might not see it. I don't know because last night, look, y'all told me in the group chat, like Willie Green said something to Brandon Ingram about that mid-range shot he took in the first quarter. Is that correct?
In the first quarter, yeah.
And like he said, like it wasn't a good shot, or what do y'all know?
The context was kind of off. It was just a conversation.
Yeah, just a conversation. I think Willie's got to demand more from Brandon and Zion. What I mean by that is if they're not doing it, what they're being told, then you gotta get them out. You got to they're just out there doing whatever they want. If Zion wants to complain about a call on one end and not get back on the other end, he's got to be taken out. I don't know what else to tell you. You cannot do that. Brandon Ingram, you dribble 17 times and shoot a contested fadeaway baseline jumper. Yeah, that's not the shot we want, man. Like, there's got to be some type of accountability, or they're going to keep doing the same shit over and over again.
I just don't think Willie Green's a guy for that. Or I think we're presuming that Willie Green is told. I think Willie Green might be displeased with the result, but he don't seem to be that displeased with what's happening out there because it's like you brought in a new coach and it's the same exact product. I don't put too much stock in them hanging out and shooting because I saw them doing. They did one interview together, with before the season. They did their practice interview.
The first day.
Then you never saw it again, and it's just like it's all posturing and performative. Like nothing is to borrow a phrase from David Griffin, the great fucking David Griffin. Nothing is organic. It's all weird, and it's like. I have to say this, bro. I have to say this. Zion would be better off on another team. Zion will be better somewhere else. And this is why Zion will be better somewhere else. Zion, for all of his shortcomings, Zion is a superstar. Zion is a superstar player, 2-time All-Star starter, the closest thing this team has to an All-NBA player or even MVP caliber player. I don't know if I buy into all that MVP caliber shit because I think Luka is a way better player than Zion personally. But yeah, so I'm like, I don't know who the finalist is for this MVP shit. But he's the only guy who comes close to being that, right? It comes to a point where it's like, yo, I'm the man. Like, I'm the superstar. I'm that
Chaz,
guy.
He's played 122 games.
Don't matter. That don't matter. Joel Embiid barely played any games going into his 4th or 5th year, but he's fucking Joel Embiid. Brand, it's like I'm trying to think of a that's like I'm trying to think of a fast male racer. I can't think of nobody. Let's say you got Usain Bolt, right? And you got some guy, you got what's the dude, Noah Lyles. You got Usain Bolt, you got Noah Lyles, right? Dog, Noah Lyles, nice try, champ. But Usain Bolt's here now, so let's stop fucking around. Let's put the kids to bed. Let's get serious here. Cool story, bro. Go sit down, Noah. The champ is here. So that's how you have to treat these people as an organization, because ultimately, if the guy decides he wants out, I was thinking all day. Let's say you move on from Zion, right? Let's say doomsday scenario, you move on from him. Who the fuck you putting around Brandon? And this is about to be a decent, respectable team. Who? Like that's what it boils down to. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do with Zion out there, you got a chance. Brandon out there is like, ugh. All right, look, what we're gonna do, like, somebody have to get hurt. We're gonna get Brandon a few months off. He's gonna come back fresh legs. They're gonna be tired, so we got the advantage. There's no way, if they can't work together and you can't construct a team around Brandon that'll be respectable. Like, again, it's one solution. Like, what the, I don't know.
Can I bring up the Joel Embiid thing, Lito? Just real quick, because I thought his stats were actually worse, but his rookie year played 31, and then he played 63, 64, 51, 51.
Yeah, he played more games than Joel at this point. But yo, tell me Brandon's last few seasons of games played.
I think it's like 46.
It's bad, bro. It's fucking bad.
They're both bad. I just, like, I know the talent of Zion Williamson, like, and I know the superstardom that comes with him, but like does he do it enough? Like, you've seen it. That's great and all. Like, we're just talking about, like, Josh Allen, right? Like Allen, like you see the potential, but, like, he fucks around, thinks Pat Mahomes, and, like, he starts throwing receptions and shit. Like, with Zion, it's like, okay, like, I see the potential. Yes, I know you're, like, electric around the rim. Can you develop more? Like, can you get better? Can you grow your overall game? It's year 5, and today, 2023, November 13th, I can't say he's a better player today than he was 2 or 3 years ago. I think the first 8 he's been worse. This is the worst I've seen him.
I think to start the Stan Van Gundy year, I think that was the worst I've seen him. Because that's when I was really like, yo, who's this guy? And then they kind of rounded into form with Point Zion. Again, you started with the post shit in Stan Van Gundy year. Then you maneuver to Point Zion, and everything's better. But again, Brandon had to get Stan the fuck up out of here. So it's...
When was the Stan year? 2021, 2020, 2021.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, so in that year, Brandon Ingram shot 46% from the field. He shot 6 threes and shot 38% from deep.
Damn good. That's a damn good shooting year. That's a damn good shooting year.
That was his best. I don't know. Shit, his first year,
before that,
he shot 39. But, like, where did it change? He went from 6.2.
It was the structure. I'm gonna tell you,
right?
The problem with both of them is the structure and the discipline.
You think it's really?
Yes, I think it's. There's nobody holding them to the highest point of accountability. The accountability bar is very low.
Yeah, that's been the problem. So I said, it's like, look, man, if you see Zion loafing on defense, like, you got to get him out. You got to embarrass him.
On offense,
you got to sort of, like, if Brandon's going to do, his 18 dribbles and do a mid-range pull-up that you don't want, you got to pull him. That's what's, like, infuriating to me. It's like you're letting these guys do whatever they want. Of course, they're not going to change.
You see Zion setting lazy screens.
He never rolls. He never rolls.
Yeah, like, bro, the last game was embarrassing. He was just like, it was like, what you doing? Y'all, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say shout out to my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Finish it though. Shout out to Christian Clark. I just wanted to make sure.
Damn, that's bad. That's awful for the top duo in the league. Man.
That's
the testament to both of them. It's not one or the other. It's both of them.
It's a lot of blame.
Problem.
It's a lot of blame to go around.
So let me ask y'all this. I think you about to shut it down, leader. But let me ask you this. Both you guys have kids, right? Or let's say you got your babysitting your nephew and you got your kid. If those two children aren't getting along, I'm not trying to disrespect these guys, they're grown men, but if those two aren't getting along, isn't it your job as the authority, the adult to step in and say, look, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. That's it. That's Willie. That's all, because you ain't no X's and O's guy. So that's all you got. That's why you here. And if you can't do that, then
Chaz goes back to in-game thing. Like the in-game situation tells you exactly what these guys can and cannot do. If you're not going to set a standard and you're not going to, be like, look, this is not acceptable anymore, they're going to keep doing it. It's just like it's anything in life. Like if you're getting away with speeding at 25, you're going to keep doing it. Like it's anything. And that's the problem. There's got to be a standard set. And like, okay, so Zion and Brandon are your two best players, but they like don't really communicate and they're kind of quiet. CJ's hurt, Larry's hurt, Trey Murphy's like young, like is Jordan Hawkins going to say something? Like who? Like is Cody Zeller going to say something? Like Jonas Valanciunas is kind of your leader, but like okay, like
they're not listening to Jonas.
Okay, so like that's your like. So if any players aren't going to step up that leadership role, and I think both of y'all have said this, it's the head coach's job to set a standard and an accountability. If they ain't going to do it, then they'll never be successful. I keep going back to this. Mike Brown did something in Sacramento when Keegan Murray didn't shoot a three. He literally got somebody up the next possession, and then he's like, Keegan, you got to shoot. The next possession, Keegan Murray shoots, hits a three, and he waves the sub back. Okay, and then last night or whatever it was, Jason Kidd called the Mavericks soft. They played like, they just didn't play any tough. Last two games, they've blown teams out.
Yeah, Spoelstra was about to fight Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, you hear about Steve Kerr and Draymond Green going at it. Like this is like you got to be able to hold these guys accountable.
Hockey substitute,
bro.
Yeah, like
you got to show some fire, dog.
You see Pop. I mean, Pop he called a time like Victor Wembanyama was watching like first 30 seconds, called timeout. Like you
got to show some fire. It gotta be fire somewhere. Bro. Like you can't.
Ain't in them, dog. It's just
look, man, you got to find it. Like you got to find it, man. Like
I don't know what to tell you.
And now it's like he been so how he is for so long that if he do flash out, that's like people like. Mom, you gonna sit the fuck down, because it's just like watch Willie Green on the sideline and watch Udoka on the side. Willie Green
is. We can't continue like this. You can't build a winning program like this. And it is enough blame to go around on both sides. On both sides,
that's bad.
That we should fix. And listen, I know Willie Green does things in 10-game sets. So this is the 10th game. Let's hopefully there's a that was
That's a good way to end it right there.
So it's late. It's late. Shout out to let's get a word for the bill collector since he's sitting right here. Jesus. Oh wait, hold up.
Yeah, play it. In the NBA, the game can change in an instant. But no matter how the action unfolds, DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets just for betting $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BOOT. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOT. The crown is yours.
Yeah, man. Listen, for me, my man Jay Hustle, my man Cheddar Chaz, we in the building. Listen, like, comment, subscribe as always. I'm sure y'all have some things to say in the comments. Game tomorrow versus
the Dallas Mavericks.
The Mavs again.
That's a dub. I'm calling it.
Pels win?
Pels win. It's a dub.
Pels win. You heard it here first. Anything else?
Peace.
Peace.